Hello everyone, welcome to Neso Academy. In the previous lecture, we understood arithmetic operators in details. We understood different types of arithmetic operators. Now we are in this lecture, and the name of this lecture is Increment and Decrement Operators in C++. The focus of this lecture is to understand increment and decrement operators. So without any further delay, let's get started and let's see what are the topics. The first topic is pre-increment and pre-decrement operators. First, we will understand pre-increment and pre-decrement operators. Then we will understand post-increment and post-decrement operators. After covering these two topics, we will then cover side effects in C++, specifically associated with increment and decrement operators. So these are the topics. Let's start with the first one, pre-increment and pre-decrement operators. So what are pre-increment and pre-decrement operators? With the help of these operators, we can increment or decrement a value by 1. With the help of pre-increment operator, we can increment a value by 1. Through pre-decrement operator, we can decrement a value by 1. And they are represented as plus plus x or minus minus x. These are called pre-increment and pre-decrement operators because these operators are applied before the operand. And you can observe that these operators are unary operators. They can only be applied on one operand. And the operand here is x. I'm considering x as some variable. I hope this is clear to you. There is one more reason why we call these operators pre-increment and pre-decrement operators. That reason is dependent on the functionality of these two operators. Here is this reason. First, increment or decrement happens in case of pre-increment and pre-decrement operators. Then the updated value is returned. That's what I have written here. So, in case of pre-increment operator, first the increment of the value happens. This means the value is incremented by 1. And then the updated value is returned. In case of pre-decrement operator, first the value is decremented by 1 and then the updated value is returned. I hope this point is clear to you. Now, how this point is justifying that these operators are called pre-increment and pre-decrement. Why they are called so? This is because the increment or decrement happens before the value is returned. Because of this, we call these operators pre-increment and pre-decrement operators. I hope this is clear to you. Now, let me justify these points and make you understand them better with the help of an example program. Here I have included the IOStream header file because I want to use stdcout here. In this main function, I have defined this variable val of type int and I have initialized this variable val with value 4. I have used list initialization as we know this is the recommended approach. Then after this, with the help of stdcout, I am trying to display the result of plus plus val. Here I have applied pre-increment operator on this variable val. We know according to this line, first the increment happens and then the updated value is returned. Here we have plus plus val. We know that first this value will be incremented by 1. We will get 5 here. Then this value is returned. This means in place of plus plus val, we will get value 5. So we know that after execution of this program, 5 will be displayed on the screen because of this stdcout. And then after this, because of std-end-l, we will move to the next line. And in the next line, the result of minus minus val will be displayed on the screen. As you can observe, this is provided to stdcout. Now here we have this minus minus operator, which is the pre-decrement operator. We know with the help of this operator, first the value is decremented by 1 and then the updated value is returned. We know the current value of this variable is 5. First, 5 is decremented by 1, we will get 4. Then 4 is returned. This means in place of minus minus val, we will get 4. So now we know when we execute this program, we will get this output 5 and 4. I hope this is clear to you. We are getting 5 because of plus plus val, and we are getting 4 because of minus minus val. So with this, we have learned the concept of pre-increment and pre-decrement. I hope this is completely clear to you, and I hope I have made these points clear to you. So with this, we are done with the first topic, that is pre-increment and pre-decrement. Let's move to the second topic, where we will understand the concept of post-increment and post-decrement. So what are post-increment and post-decrement operators? Again, with the help of these operators, we can increment or decrement a value by 1. And they are represented as x plus plus or x minus minus, where x is some variable. Here you can observe that these operators are applied after the operand. They are placed after the operand, and that's why we call these operators post-increment and post-decrement operators. This is the post-increment operator and this is the post-decrement operator. The word post means after, pre means before. I hope this makes sense. Now I would like to mention the functionality of post-increment and post-decrement operators. First, the copy of the value is created. Then the value is incremented or decremented. I am talking about the original value. And then finally, the copy is returned. It seems like first the value is returned and then the increment or decrement happens. That's why we call these operators post-increment and post-decrement. Increment or decrement happens after the value is returned. In case of pre-increment and pre-decrement operators, first increment or decrement happens, then the value is returned. But here, the value is returned first. We will get the old value, not the updated value. And then the increment or decrement happens. I hope this idea is clear to you. Here we can observe the copy of the value is created, original value is incremented or decremented, and then the copy is returned. We are getting the old value, not the new value as the result. Now, let me properly justify this point and the other points mentioned here with the help of an example program. Again, I took the same example program but with some updates. Here, in place of plus plus val, we have val plus plus. And in place of minus minus val, we have val minus minus. Here I have applied post-increment and post-decrement operators on variable val. Because of this post-increment operator, first, the copy of this value is created. We will get the copy of this value, that is 4. Then, the increment happens on the original value. This is the value and this value will be updated by 1. We will get 5 here. This means variable val is updated to 5. Then we will get the copy as the result. This means in place of val plus plus, we will get 4 as the result. So clearly, as the output, we will get 4 here. Then after this, in the new line, we will get the result of val minus minus. We know the current value of this variable val is 5. First, the copy of 5 is created. Then 5 is decremented by 1. We will get 4 in this variable val. And then the copy, that is 5, is returned. This means in place of val minus minus, we will get 5. So what is the output of this program? Clearly, when we execute this program, we will get this output 4 and 5. We are getting 4 because of val plus plus and 5 because of val minus minus. If you remember, in case of pre-increment and pre-decrement, we were getting the output as 5 and 4. But here we are getting 4 and then 5. So clearly, there is the difference between pre-increment and post-increment and pre-decrement and post-decrement. In case of pre-increment and pre-decrement, first the value is incremented or decremented and then the updated value is returned. But here, the increment or decrement happens after the value is returned. We are getting the old value in this case. I hope this idea is clear to you. So with this, we have understood this second topic also, that is post-increment and post-decrement. Now let's move to the last topic where we will understand the concept of side effects. So what is a side effect? Here I have mentioned the meaning of side effect. When an operator does something in addition to returning a value, then it has a side effect. When some operator returns some value and apart from returning a value, it also does something else, then that operator is said to be having a side effect. Now let me explain this with the help of some examples. Here I have defined this variable res1 of type int and I have initialized this variable with value 5. And here I have done the initialization through this copy initialization method, that is with the help of this assignment operator. Now, one thing we know that assignment operator helps taking the right-hand side value to the left-hand side variable. It simply stores the value which is available in the right-hand side to the left-hand side variable. Apart from this, it also returns the right-hand side value. So, if we apply this expression res1 equal to 5 on std cout, that is if we try to print the result of res1 equal to 5, then we will get 5 as the result, because the assignment operator also returns the value which is available in the right-hand side. So clearly, assignment operator is doing two jobs. It is returning the value and it is assigning the right-hand side value to the left-hand side variable. So we can say the assignment operator has this side effect. Now what about this line? Here we have int res2 equal to plus plus res1. Here I have defined this variable res2 of type int and I want to assign the result of plus plus res1 to this variable res2. Now what does this mean? Here we have the pre-increment operator. Pre-increment operator also has a side effect. Now why am I saying this? It does not only update the value which is available in res1, but it also returns the updated value. That's the job of this plus plus operator. So clearly it is doing two things. Apart from returning the value, it is also updating the variable. So that's why we can say that the pre-increment operator has a side effect. It is not true only for the pre-increment operator. Every increment and decrement operator has this effect. This means they all have side effect. They do two jobs. I hope this idea is clear to you. Now you might be thinking why I'm explaining this concept to you. This is because I want you to remember this line and I want you to avoid this at all costs. Please see this line. Here I have written avoid updating and using a variable with side effects in the same line. Always try to avoid using a variable and updating that variable in the same line which has these side effects. Let's say you are trying to update a variable with the help of some operator which has this side effect, and you're using the same variable in the same line, then it will cause problems. Now let me explain this with the help of an example. Here I've defined this variable var and I've initialized this variable with value 5. Again, I'm using copy initialization here. If you want, you can use list initialization. Here I've defined this variable result of type int, and here I'm trying to assign the result of var plus var. Now I want you to focus on this expression. Here, with the help of this pre-increment operator, I'm trying to update the value of var. We know that pre-increment operator has a side effect. It not only updates the value of this variable, it also returns that value as the result. Now, if you observe this expression properly, clearly I'm updating this variable with side effect and I'm using this variable in the same line. This will cause problems. What kind of problems we will get from here? We do not know whether var will be evaluated first or plus var will be evaluated first. This means we do not know whether this variable var will receive the old value or the updated value. So in this case, we have problems. If, let's say, var will be evaluated first, then we will get 5. And in place of plus var, we will get 6, because plus operator or the pre-increment operator will increment the value of this variable var. We will get 6 here, and we will also get the value here. So clearly we will get 6 here. So we have this expression 5 plus 6, which is equal to 11. Now, do you think that the result variable will hold this value 11? What if plus var will be evaluated first? Then, in place of plus var, we will get 6. We know now the variable var has the value 6. So clearly this variable var will receive the updated value. So here we will get 6, not 5. So now we have this expression 6 plus 6, which evaluates to 12. Now, do you think result variable will hold value 12? The answer to this question is we do not know this. This is the undefined behavior. This is not defined in C++. It is meant to be defined by the compiler. We don't know how the compiler will do the evaluation. We don't know this whether var will be evaluated first or plus var will be evaluated first. So, this is the undefined behavior, and this is the reason why we should avoid updating and using a variable with side effects in the same line. I hope this idea is clear to you. This is important because we do not get the same result every time in every machine. It is possible that in your machine you will get the result as 11, maybe in some other machine you will get the result as 12. So the result is not fixed. That's why I'm saying try to avoid this at all costs. So with this, we have understood the concept of side effects and what we need to follow as the best practice. So with this, we are done with the third topic. And now we are done with all the topics of this lecture. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this lecture. I will see you in the next one.